Hello friends, you've stumbled across a short clip from the Daily Switch 2 podcast, which, believe it or not, is a podcast that is about the Switch 2 with new episodes released daily. What will they think of next? So we're finally here. I'm reviewing it for you. If you have a Switch 2, you can join in too. Put your Joy-Cons together if you want to play, as I'll take you through this monkey's game, DK, Donkey Kong Bananza. So, for context, what is my history with Donkey Kong? Well, him and I go back a long way. In fact, don't tell any of my potential suitors, clearly trying to gather the courage to DM slide a basketball after the jump scare face reveal in my last video. But we were actually born in the same year, me and DK. I'm sure you already know this, but DK is the OG of Nintendo OGs. Mario and Pauline may have debuted in the exact same game, but neither were deemed important enough at the time to give them a real name. Jumpman and Lady were no match for Donkey Kong, the true star for Nintendo, the Universal movie copyright-baiting character who would break them out of Japan and into the American market for good, with Atari, Coleco, and Intellivision all fighting over who would release the least terrible home port of the #1 arcade smash before the entire US-manufactured console market collapsed and Nintendo swept in and reinvented the entire industry with the NES. Not forgetting that the Famicom itself was designed from the ground up specifically to be a machine solely to play the most accurate home conversion of Donkey Kong possible. Without Donkey Kong, there is quite simply no Mario, no Zelda, no Miyamoto, no NES, and Nintendo would still be manufacturing gambling equipment and running brothels. Watch the, well, actually, guys appear in the comments. I see you, it's all engagement, no worries. And to further annoy the Nintendo diehards who like to rewrite history, a few years later, the Super Nintendo was floundering and being consistently outsold 3 years in a row by arch-rivals Sega, and surveys at the time proved that the new generation of kids were more likely to recognize Sonic than Mario. How did Nintendo turn their fortunes around and eventually win the console wars of that generation? Well, partially because of Street Fighter 2, partially because of Star Fox, a British game, you're welcome, from the team who also taught Nintendo how to make 3D games and directly enabled the creation of Mario 64 before having their Yoshi game rejected and defecting to Sony and Sega. Thanks for nothing, I guess. But the game that really tabled the turns and scaled the flip was none other than Donkey Kong Country, another British-developed game by the team who later saved the N64 before being stabbed in the back by Nintendo. I'm noticing a pattern here. What do they have against British people? But while I may have preloaded that paragraph with provocation and principled penalization, yeah, that'll do. I'm only doing so because I'm about to glaze Nintendo's donut so hard that Nintendo will have to fight off 1 million Canadian singers who hate Americans and hate America seemingly like Nintendo do. Pull yourself an Ariana Banana Grande because I have a latte to say. Cards on the table. I'm one of those people that actually was a Sega and Sonic ride or die, but I bought a SNES for DKC and holy crap, it was a great game on a great console. The sequel was even better, of course, and the third one was also great, but I'll only admit that on days when I can get over the annoyance of how much I irrationally hate Kiddy Kong. I think l'époque je déteste les bébés because I even found the sublime Yoshi's Island difficult to play because Baby Mario sucks Donkey Kong balls. Banana-flavored, one presumes. I wouldn't know. But anyway, the DKC game, incredible. And Returns was good too. And Tropical Freeze might just be the best platform game on Switch. Yes, better than Mario Odyssey. Come at me, bro. My only complaint is the fact that it was $20 on Wii U and then $60 on Switch, but screw us for wanting to play portably more than 6 foot away from the console, I guess. Funky mode made it totally worth it though, of course. I also bought an original DMG Game Boy back in the day too. Not for Mario, not for Tetris, but because my parents wouldn't let me play Mortal Kombat on our massive 14-inch CRT color television with red-colored blood, because all that violence would clearly warp my fragile little mind, but ripping out people's spines on the pea-soup-colored postage stamp was deemed okay. So my Game Boy, weirdly, was originally a Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 machine, until I picked up Donkey Kong 94 and had a religious experience. For those that haven't played that game and assume that it's just a monochrome port of an arcade game that's as ancient as your humble host, again, ladies, please ignore that I said that if you are single and not entirely repulsed by the aforementioned parody music video and won over by my entirely convincing accent français. But yes, if you haven't played Donkey Kong 94, drop everything and play that game. It's in my top 10 games ever, probably top 5. Easily the best Donkey Kong game, and even potentially the best 2D Mario game of my life. Or to quote The Simpsons for the second time this week, easily the best Donkey Kong game and even potentially best 2D Mario game of my life so far. Because here we are, DK Bananza, Donkey Kong Bananza. It's like banana, but Bananza and banana. Get it? DK Bananza. My favourite game of all time is Nights into Dreams. My second favourite game of all time is Mario 64. 2 3D platform games. And it's quite possible that in a week or two I'll have changed my mind and crowned Bananza the best game ever made. I've only played for a day or so, but so far it really is that good. Well, that was funny / sad / informative / stupid, wasn't it? Feel free to mentally redact to make that make sense with the clip that you just heard. I don't know what it was. I'm just recording a bumper. But if you enjoyed the clip, please give it a like. If you'd like to hear more, click subscribe, and you can find all the ways to listen to and support the full daily podcast at linktree/dailyswitch2. That's linktr.ee/dailyswitch2. Let's go! Did I sound like I mean that? I do. I really do.